Hey folks, good morning. We're out here at the build site and I hear a lot of stuff in the background going on. So actually I'm here to check on the finish of that, I should say how much they finished up on that roof structure and the rest of the house. So there's a lot of new things they're prepping. They're prepping the outside of the house to get that thing finally, that ugly concrete hollow block that I cannot stand is finally being covered up. Let's do a quick weather check and we'll head on over. Beautiful day. It's going to be warm today though, I can tell you that already. It's early in the morning and the sun's starting to peek out. I got a nice little breeze. Had rain last couple of days, so that's kind of puts a little damper on the build, but finally we're starting to see some progress. I got my roof sample and it's starting out to be a good day. So let's check the build on out. As we're walking up, you can already hear the saw that's cutting that rebar. Let me show you my new proposed. Finally got a color in that we like. I'm not sure about the looks like a imitation shake roof, but it's a stone coat. And builder brought that out today for me. Check out, and I think that might be the style because they're having a hard time finding gray in this country. Even the steel coat that I had settled on before is not going to be available. So that's kind of a bummer. But stone coat's a better roof, a little more on the bottom line. I wanted to go with it anyway, so I think for me it's a better fit, but it's all about the cost. So. And check out this. They're putting that plaster coat on that ugly concrete hollow block that I cannot stand. Oh, it's just amazing what it does to the look of the building. The build site still looks like it's been hit by a bombshell, but unfortunately, that's going to be a while. I know I get comments from viewers and stuff, and it bugs me more than it bugs you guys, man, but that's going to be happening at the end of the build. Which is still going to be a ways away before we get in. You can see from where I'm standing at right now that they've started down the inside here. Found myself a place to walk. You can see the actual finish here. You can see the plaster coat, and then they call this a patch coat. And they put that on there, and that helps hide the flaws in the wall. And as they get the sanding on and put it down, but you can still see there's a lot of work to go. The kitchen looks like they finally got that window that we had them tear out and reconstruct it. This will be overlooking our backyard. Unfortunately, the view is horrible because of all the trash and that ugly wall they got there that's going to get painted over and patched up. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about putting some nice run some wire on there and put some bougainvillea on it or some type of plant. I'm going to stay away from the bamboo. I love the bamboo, but it attracts a lot of snakes from what people are telling me. So this will be our kitchen view. And you can tell that they're getting ready to, Dave's supposed to show me the designs on paper so I can actually see the printed out version of what the kitchen's going to look like with the setup. And this section that they haven't dug out yet and cleared because we're extending this section out as well. And you can see right now where they've still got that plaster coat setting up where the dark, you can see the difference between the two tones. One that's dry is a dull gray, and when they're wet it's a dark gray. And then you got that plaster coat that I heard actually helps neutralize some of the chemicals in that cement. Not sure you would need to do that, but in this wall, you can still feel, if you run your hand on it, you can't see it on camera, but you can still feel the roughness. You can tell that there's going to be a lot of sanding going to go on to get that thing where it needs to be, and probably another couple of coats. It's a thinner material, but as you get toward the end, it's a lot better way to go. Plaster coat here. See how rough it is and stuff, and it's supposed to be textured because then your patch coat can go on top of that. But hey, they're making progress. I'm so happy. Man, that ugly, I can't stand concrete hollow block. It's just such an ugly looking material. The unfinished look to it compared to what you're used to seeing every place else. Very different. See the bedroom here? And you can see where I'm finishing up the steel structure up on top for the roof. Eventually, if it gets here, you see what they're doing there. They just mix right here on the second floor. That's the concrete they're using for the upstairs portion. You can see they've got our closet area partially completed. And then the back CR. There's our foreman. Hey, Kuya. He's a quiet guy, but he's always working. The plaster coat here. And what we talked about with Dave, got to settle on a design. These will be, all those doors right here will be wood doors. And this door right here will be a dual pane slider along with the rest of the windows here. So give us easy access to open up that airflow. With the ceiling fans and the air conditioner in here, we should be able to tolerate any type of weather. This area here, man, the water was just, what was that? It was a ½ inch thick on this area here, and it looks like they finally got this thing dried up. They've got the first coat of a patch coat done on it, and it looks like the plaster coat on it, and the patch coat is one on top there. They're putting that plaster and patch coat, one on the outside and then the actual plaster coat on the inside here. And with that design, we're going to go with I was talking to him originally. I wanted to put a wall out here, a small wall, and we might, let me get up underneath here, we might just put columns up on the corner and then run some type of railing across horizontally. Here's a good shot of my neighbor's build. His continues to progress, but his area, and he's got a combi. You can see the exterior with the right now the roof structure that's going to hold his canopy around his house. That's going to be another look that's going to protect those windows and doors. So that'll be a nice touch. And we're looking for the same thing on my house here, because one, to get out of the rain, and two, for the overall protection that you have. So you can see that they're making some good progress here. Let me get up this ladder and you can see the roof structure. You can see the progress from the last time I was here, and you get an idea of what the rough shape's going to look like of the roof. How it's going to go. They're doing their grinding up in the front section after they've done their welding. I figure in less than a week they'll be done with it. I'd say a couple days. Today's Thursday, maybe by Saturday. I don't know. Depends on if they have to check on the materials, see if they have enough material to complete the task at hand. But this is a subcontracted crew. They're not part of the normal builder's crew, and these guys tend to be fast, to be honest with you, man. Anytime you subcontract that work and they're piecing it out, and that's the same wherever you go. It's a lot of difference between a piece worker and then an hourly worker. These guys get paid by the job instead of by the piece. So that alone makes a big difference. You can see here in the downstairs CR, they haven't still got that first coat on. They got a lot more work. They've got the first and second coats on the interior done here. Still got to put the structure on top up there. But I've intentionally been staying away from the build because the build does go slow. A lot of the resources, we kind of made a deal, trying to focus on Ainsley's build so he can get moved in, get his permits. Here's my garage over here. And that's not my tile, that's I think that's leftovers from Ainsley's. But here's my 2-car garage. One side's probably only going to be used for a car, and the other side will probably be my workbench area. And this area here will be the additional CR that we added on lately. So things are looking up here, folks. Looking good. Super, super happy to have this, see this progress where my house doesn't start. I mean, it stops looking like it's just off the side of the road that they didn't finish, they abandoned. Now it's starting to take color and shape, which is fantastic. And with the kitchen going in, the designs I should see next week, like I talked about earlier, actually get to see a drawing of it. And we visited the place, and I had that on one of my videos. And the shop has got some nice stuff out because we're gonna have a big kitchen, and like I said, with the family we have, it's good because I'm constantly running in the house that we're at right now. It's your typical, it's a 4-bedroom house. It's bigger than a lot of the residentials that the Filipinos live in here, but it's so small. I mean, especially for an American, if you're a bigger guy. I'm not that big. I'm under 6 foot. I'm like 5'10", 5'11", and so when you get here and you're dealing with like my wife who's 5'2", they kind of jet in and out, and they're almost like it's amazing how cat-like and how agile the Filipino people are compared to the bigger Americans. We don't move as nearly as agile, and I'm always bumping into somebody there, and we only have 2 sinks and they're small, and it's frustrating because every time you want to cook something or make something or prep something, and if you don't clean up 100% when you get through, and we only got 2 burners because that's the way the house was built with a dirty kitchen. They don't even have anything inside, so you got to share 2 burners. And if you cook a lot like we do, it's frustrating. So I'm having a dirty kitchen, I'm having a big kitchen here, and then I'm going to have my separate area out in the back that you see out here, and I'll have it. I like to do my own homemade tortillas. I grew up with that stuff, and I started making them out here in the Philippines. Gotten pretty good at it. Dug up some of my mom's old recipes that mom did. I tell you, my mom was an angel. Before she passed away, I asked her one thing, if she would make me a cookbook, and she spent probably a month putting this cookbook together because she never ever mixed by using measuring cups. It was a pinch of this, a pinch of that, tasted, would go. So she put that cooking book together for me, and never really thought I would utilize it as much as I have, but since I brought it with me to the Philippines, I've been looking at all her recipes for everything from sopa to bondigas to all the flour and corn tortillas, the homemade. I watched her do that for years, and I'm really taking advantage of it. And I like to cook anyway. I like to barbecue. Grill was my thing, but haven't had much of a chance out here because the quality of the beef is hard to get a hold of. It's available, but you just got to know the right folks to get to it. It's not like you go down to local Costco or Sam's and pick yourself up some ribeye or cuts of it and talk to the butcher and he cuts it up, or you go to your local butcher shop if you're having something special going on, they can take care of that. Here they have butcher shops here, but guys here, I'm going to be honest with you, they do not know how to butcher. Everything from, at least they don't butcher the way we're used to butchering in the States. I mean, even chicken, I have to show them how to quarter the chickens. So when we go to the Palenque and buy the fresh chickens and they cut them up, have to give them specific directions, and they know now from me coming week after week buying my chicken what I'm looking for. So, and that's that. I tell you what, frying fresh chicken, pork, man, it's good here. You have to go to the bigger Plinkies to find the quality fish that you want. If you like that big tuna, salmon, you don't see much inside the markets, but I'm going to be hitting some films on that too pretty soon. But after we get moved in, I am so looking forward to being able to grill my own stuff again and not be dependent on somebody else to cook, or I can cook it my way or grill it my way. So that's all today, folks. So we're going to head on out of here and see about getting some additional work done. I just wanted to say thanks again for all the support. It's greatly appreciated, and comments. Got a lot of good folks out there that have put some good stuff down in words, and it's been a big help. It's actually explored a lot of different avenues. Met a lot of good people out there. So I want you guys to stay safe, and God bless. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.